Okay, great. Let's go ahead and start today's introduction. Today, we wanted to kind of follow up from our meeting that we just recently held in LA. We got a lot of good response, especially from Prosperity. Everybody really liked the idea, loved the e application, the instant decision, and the pricing, especially on that prime term, comes in perfectly for our clients. It's meeting right into that budget that they're looking for. It's very easy issue, and it is a great company all around. Today I have with us Ryan Wilkin and Maria Nasrallah. I apologize, Maria, if I mispronounce that. But today we're going to be going over not only the product again, a nice little refresher on it. I know, we went through a lot of stuff that day, but also we're going to be talking about that lead system, that online televised lead that we have, which I think is a nice little add-on when we're looking how to jumpstart our final expense sales, especially going into the fourth quarter. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it right over to Maria.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here today. So my name is Maria Nasrallah, and I will be presenting our tech options here for our voice and our face-to-face point of sales. I'm a member of the member. I'm a member of the sales and marketing group here with Prosperity. Specifically, I work with agent support and new business. So most of you folks will get to know me very well down the line. Now, to recap, you may already be familiar with our Life product, the new Vista product. It is a final expense product sold by Prosperity Life Group. Please remember that Prosperity is our holding company. We have three sister companies that are Shenandoah out of Virginia, SBLI out of New York, and SUSA, a subsidiary to SBLI that operates in all states outside of New York area. Now, today's topic will be our tech options. So there are four options, four ways that our agents can submit applications to Prosperity. And I want to start off by saying that we've partnered with a company called Aptical. They're a third-party vendor for all of our underwriting. They have a specific web portal designed for face-to-face or online sales. We will be granting you access once you complete your contracting. You'll get a welcome email with a set of credentials as well as the web address to access this portal. And from here, you'll be able to submit your applications electronically, quickly, and efficiently, no matter your location or your point of sale. You can simply utilize various tech methods such as a cell phone, laptop, desktop, iPad, anything with an internet connection and Google Internet Browser, and you'll be ready to go. So let's talk about convenience right there, guys. Specifically, I will cover the voice option here for telesales folks, the e-application for face-to-face, and we have a new technology that you can download and install onto your cell phone called LiveApp Air. And these are the methods that you could write applications electronically. So let's begin. So telesales voice applications are very much similar to our old school hard copy paper applications, which we still accept. You can do remotely from wherever you work. Your client is basically going to be on the phone call with you and with their voice be able to sign on this option. We will also require a phone health interview to be conducted also on the telephone call. So giving you a little background about Aptical and what they do, they are a software that they power all of our technology options and as well as our underwriting decisions. They are available 7 days a week, Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. all the way up to 2:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They also carry weekend hours, so Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 10 is their availability. They're very much accessible and can pretty much fit to any of your schedules, hence why they power our technology options and they're a partner in that regard. So here's how it's going to work. So earlier I mentioned that once you complete your contracting, you're going to receive a welcome email with your login credentials to this portal. Your login credentials will be completely unique to you, so you're going to utilize them by installing Google Chrome on your laptop or desktop and accessing the site. So once you're in, you're going to see this screen appear to you. Now, sometimes depending on where you access the site, you may not necessarily come through to this page. So what you're going to want to do is once you're in, you're going to hover over to the Live App logo, which will be found on the top left-hand corner on the black menu. And when you hover slightly to the right, application will appear in white letters. Sometimes just the way that the site is, it just does not necessarily come through as well. But once you're in there, you can go ahead and click on application. And if you're with your client and ready to do the application, you can go ahead and start the application. If you are still working on quotes and figuring out where you're going to place your client in terms of price and eligibility, there will be a standalone feature rate calculator available on this menu screen. So once you're here, please make sure to select the company name, which will show up as Prosperity Life USA, the product, and like I mentioned earlier before, we have face-to-face electronic application as well as a telesales voice application. So if you're going to be doing the majority of your sales over the telephone, you're going to be selecting voice. If you're going to be a field agent and be in person with your clients, you're going to select the option E application. So don't mistake the two. In case you forget, there'll be a little reminder here at the bottom informing you what kind of point of sale you will be conducting. And then pretty much after that, you're going to select the state, the language, choosing English as your default language, and then skipping over interpreter type and TTY and selecting next. Also on the screen, as you can see, you'll have a table of contents. So this is pretty much the divisions of the entire application process. At any point in time, you can select next or previous tabs down here in order to go back or forward on your work. If you've completed all of these sections and you want to move back to a certain area, you can certainly double click on these blue links right here and you'll go back into that specific part of the application. If you accidentally close out your screen or you get booted out of your internet connection, all your information will be saved in this portal. So that's really convenient for you. All you'll need to do is just simply re-log in, go back into the Applications tab, and then hit Search, and you'll be able to search your application according to certain filter specifications like the date that you completed the application, the name of the client, social, telephone number, status of the application. So just be sure that when you get your login credentials, take a little go here, get comfortable with the system so that way you know where to find information. So Aptical, after this section is completed, is going to ask you to key in the client's demographics. This is the quoting tool that I was mentioning that lives here as part of the application process or as a standalone feature. So you're going to key in all the details, date of birth, gender, smoker status, the payment term that the client wishes, whether or not they're going to choose the accidental death benefit rider. You're going to key in the face amount, make sure that the decimal points are included when you key in your information so that way you don't incidentally key in the wrong coverage amount. You can leave the premium draw date box empty. We're actually going to ask you for payment details later on. Then once you do all this, you'll see the calculate button appear as ready to complete it. So you'll hit calculate and all three results will show up down here. Please be sure to pre-screen your customer beforehand. We do have a copy of a prescription list on your agent portal that you can download in the event that the customer is on certain medication and you want to make sure that they qualify for the respective tier. So once you select your criteria here, you're going to create the application, and the first set of questions that you'll get will deal with whether or not you have given your customer the declarations and the disclosures. You do have a copy of each of these voice declarations, disclosures, buyer guide, etc. on your agent portal. So again, please be sure to have those ready to go and email them to your client ahead of time. In the event that your customer may not have an email address that you can submit this to, we do have a recorded playback version that will prompt with the telephone interview. It's about 7 minutes long. So depending on how much time your client may have, please encourage them if they do have family email address that they utilize that so that way you can save some time on the application. So hopefully you'll be able to do that, and if you do, then you'll be able to move over to the next screens. I do want to move back and give you a little notation here in regards to replacements. So with our voice option, if your client has instructed you that they have another life insurance policy that they're unsatisfied with and they want to discontinue it and purchase this one in lieu, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to actually cancel the entire voice application altogether. We do not have a replacement option with the voice capability technology. So if it is a situation in which you do need to do a replacement, you first and foremost need to be face-to-face with your client. So the voice application is not going to be able to help you at all. You'll need to cancel that one out entirely and do a face-to-face appointment with your client in order for you to complete the e-application that we do offer paperless on this portal. So big pointer there for you. So hopefully you'll get through to this section without any problems, and you'll be ready to fill in your client's basic information. You're going to make sure that you confirm all the information and all the details that your customer provides. And the next section will deal with the benefit information writer selections. Go ahead and complete those. They will be in yes or no questions. And when you get down to the payment, we do have a policy that allows your client to set up an initial premium draft up to 30 days from the point in time where they sign the application. So if you have a client that just does not necessarily want to be drafted upon approval and has a specific date in mind, you can complete this area down here with those specifications. Please don't forget that our future date policy must be within 30 days of the application date. So we will not be able to extend it beyond 30 days. If you have a customer that just simply cannot do a 30-day future draft policy, then you'll need to discontinue this application, meet with them in the future when it is convenient and when that date falls within the 30-day period. So the next slide is going to once again confirm premium and billing information, making sure that you also select whether or not they will choose the automatic premium loan election, and as well as who the premium notices will be sent to. We do also allow you to submit payment through a Social Security linked Direct Express credit card. Please note that is the only form of credit card submission that we allow. We do not allow a debit card, traditional MasterCard, Visa. We don't accept any credit cards to that effect. The only one that we accept is if it's aligned with their SSI and if it starts with the following digits, 5332-48. So you'll have these nice little cheat sheets here to remind you of what is available and what we can accept. Also, equally important, if your customer has a savings account and they want to set up a future draft through that type of EFT method, we do accept it. However, you do need to specify that it's a savings account. In a brief moment, I'll show you where you can make that update. In the meantime, you can select checking account and move forward, and then we can specify later on. The next section will be the beneficiary information, so I won't bore you here with the details, but just make sure that you complete and you verify everything just as you did with the basic client information section. We do allow up to 3 entries that you can submit here. If more space is needed, once again, you can make those additions on a separate area of the application. So just please be sure to confirm every detail and try to obtain all the information that is requested so that way we can have all completed information in-house. The last section will be the agent certification. So this is basically where your information will pre-fill. Please make sure that all your contact information is still correct and true. Sometimes with agents moving or changing their addresses, their contact information, that may not necessarily translate here. So if it does, good, you can move on to the next section. If it doesn't, you can go ahead and erase the information and recomplete it. Now, earlier I mentioned that you can make some changes to the specifications that are not necessarily available in the prior screen. So if you had additional beneficiaries, you can actually complete them here under the comments area. This is a field that has a lot of opportunity for you to complete as many as the customer deems fit. Just make sure that all your beneficiaries add up to 100%. If the customer has an EFT through a savings account, earlier I mentioned to you that that does not show up as an option. Only checking accounts are shown here, but you can select that and then specify under the comments area that it's a savings account. If you have some sort of dual agent type of scenario and you want to split commissions, this is the area that you can also complete and add those additional notes. So anything that you want to add as an additional note, you can utilize the comments area for that. So now moving on to the important part. So with a telesales voice application, this is what you're going to see once you basically complete the entire application. It's going to ask you to contact Aptical with the option 1 to complete the interview process. A phone number will appear, so you don't need to have that ready. The computer will tell you what the telephone number to Aptical is. And as well as they will let you know what the ID number to this application is. You're going to need to write this down because when you make that phone call to the Aptical vendor, they're going to ask you for the reference number. And it's basically going to work as a tracking number. They'll be able to pull the application that you just recently completed and continue where you left off. So it's very important that you make a note of it for yourself, especially if you need to log back in and take a look at the application, make a copy for yourself or make a copy for the customer, however you deem fit. This reference number is going to allow you to retrieve that application that you did. So once you do that, you'll call Aptical and you'll give them the reference number. You'll make your introductions. They will ask who the agent is, so please let the interviewer know who they're speaking with, who is the proposed insured. Be sure to introduce them. If there's going to be an owner on the application, please also, different than the proposed insured, please also introduce them too, so that way they know who they're speaking with. And then make sure that you have that reference number as well, as I mentioned before. So on the e-application, it's going to be a little different. So with our e-applications, we don't actually have you contact Aptical. The e-application is built in with underwriting software. So instead of it prompting you to call Aptical, it's just going to dive right into the actual medical questions. And if you want to take a look and see how they look, you can go back to your Prosperity Agent Portal, download a blank application, and take a look at those questions right there. Basically, the difference with the voice technology is that because you're not in the presence of your customer, and a third party such as Aptical vendor needs to be there to ask the underwriting questions. But if you are face-to-face with your client, you will be the interviewer as well. So you won't need to contact Aptical. You'll be the one asking and recording those questions, those answers on your computer. So with the e-application, once you do those, once you record those answers, you will await the software to prompt back a decision. It takes a good 2 full minutes, folks. So please don't get anxious. Please let it run its entire course. It may look like it's not working. That's completely normal. We know that. We know it looks kind of funny, but wait the full 2 minutes. If you do that and you don't touch the screens, you'll be able to get your eligibility. right there on the screen. You won't be confused later on. We've had instances where agents get a little anxious or nervous. They're not sure whether or not it's going to work. And so what they'll do is they'll hit the next tab and then it'll throw the whole system off, and then we'll have to get on a phone call to be able to retrieve that information for them once again. So the best rule book here is to just let it do its thing. It'll give you that decision automatically without you moving a button. So just follow the prompts and keep in mind that it takes a good 2 full minutes to give you a decision. Now, sometimes there will be cases where a decision cannot be rendered, which often happens because the customer is not all honest with us and may not necessarily want to give us full disclosure of their medical history or their medications. So in instances where you get a response from the peer software informing you that they cannot render a decision, it needs to be sent over to the home office, that's exactly what it probably means. It means that there's something there that's not matching. Could be their MIB, could be a pharma check that's just not matching up, and that's why we need the home office to weigh in. So when that happens, just let your customer know that they can't make a decision. There's something else going on that the underwriters need to verify. They'll send over the information to our home office and just wait for an email from the underwriting department letting you know what the final result is. And if they render a decision, they will let you know in that follow-up email. Please also know that it takes about 2 to 3 business days for any application that you enter in this portal to come through to home office. So it's not going to be an instantaneous thing. It's going to take a good 2 days. We're very quick about it. So most of the cases we're able to get something within 24 hours. But if you don't see it appear in your portal, if you're not getting those email statuses, just be patient with us. Sometimes we experience higher volume than other times, and that's why our Aptical folks may not necessarily get us those applications, within a 24-hour time frame. Their turnaround time for normal processing is 2 to 3 business days. So hopefully you'll be able to get that decision and provide that to your customer, be it by voice or be it by face-to-face. If you do, just know that you won't need to do anything from that point on. Everything will be transferred over to the home office electronically. We will be sending you a confirmation email letting you know that we have the application here in-house and it's being processed. We'll also assign a policy number right next to the individual's name. So if ever you need to contact us for status, just take a look at your email, check that customer's name. Right next to that, there should be a policy number. They typically start with a 9200 number. So that's when you'll know it in the system here in the home office, and you can do your follow-ups accordingly. Now, a few additional points to add with our Aptical voice applications, expectations that we'd like you to be aware of. When you call Aptical on a voice application, please make sure to stay on the line. Please don't disconnect. Please don't instruct your customer to contact Aptical and you not be present in that telephone call. It's very important that we have our agents make that call, initiate and facilitate the communication. You're most of the time going to be silent on that call, but that's quite all right because the interviewer does needs to be the one to make those questions. We don't allow you to coach or aid your client or repeat the questions. So if you do have a customer that's maybe a little hard of hearing or needs that extra help to have them understand what we're going to ask and set those expectations, you can do so before the call is made. So you'll have an opportunity to maybe reserve some time beforehand, and hopefully before you even quote them with your pre-screening, you'll have all that information there. Please instruct your customer to have their state ID or driver's license on hand, as well as the payment information that they want us to take in with that application. The interviewer will be verifying that information again on the telephone. So like I said before, we don't allow you to aid the customer on the call. You're more than likely going to be silent for the majority of the call. So just be aware of those two important topics. If there is a separate owner, that separate owner will also need to be on that call as well. So equally important, proposed insured owner, if other than the proposed insured and the agent will all be on that phone call and will all be voice signing the application. They will be asking you whether or not you gave your customer email copies of disclosures. So if you did it, they'll play that 7-minute recorded playback version. If you did, they'll skip over that, and that'll save you a little extra time, and the customer won't have to listen to that boring recorded playback version. They'll also be helping you with any recalculations. So if there is a counter offer and the customer still wishes to pursue that, they will be aiding you. So what's really nice and convenient for you is that they'll do the work for you. All you need to do is just be physically present at that phone interview. Other things to tag on, make sure that when you are accessing the site, don't forget you need to access it only by way of installing Google Chrome as your internet browser. It's not going to work right if you forget and you open up Internet Explorer, Firefox, Mozilla, Safari. None of that is going to work just fine. You may end up getting like error messages. It may freeze on you and you will have absolutely no clue what's going on. That's 9 times out of 10 what it is. You forgot to open up your program there with Google Chrome. On my e-application, other things to tag on, make sure that you complete all information, that you verify all of the client's information, and in the event that you do happen to get that counter offer, unlike the voice option, which the interviewer will aid you, you will be the interviewer here, so the system is going to prompt you with the steps that you need to take in order to complete the application successfully. So with counter offers, what it will prompt you after you've completed those medical questions is it'll give you a decision, and if you quoted differently, it'll ask you to go back to the rate calculator and match the tier according to what was approved. So you'll do that. You will hand over your mouse to your customer, make them do the signatures, you will sign, and then you will complete it. So it's pretty much going to be a self-guided application if you do the face-to-face e-application. Any questions thus far? Okay.
Hi, Maria. Actually, we do have a
Yes.
couple that are have popped up, so I'll go ahead and interrupt while you have that brief pause. The first one is, will the voice app send the disclosures for me, or do I have to email it from my own email?
You have to email them. Great question. You will have to email them on your own. The voice interviewer will not be in a position to email them for your client.
Perfect. And then the next, same topic, are the disclosures found on the Aptical portal or on the Benchmark
No.
portal?
They will be on the Benchmark portal. Great question.
Next is, will replacements be allowed in the future?
That is something that's debatable right now, to be honest with you. There are certain measures that we need to have in place, and one of the requisites is that the customer needs to be face-to-face with you. Now, we do offer the replacement on a paperless version, so that was what I had highlighted at the beginning and on the beginning slide. You can do a replacement. The only thing is that you can't do it on a telesales point of sale. You have to be face-to-face with your client.
Great, thank you. Is the app ID that pops up at the end the policy number?
No, the app ID is a tracking number. It's unique to the Live App portal. So this is not something that's going to carry over to the home office. It's just going to allow you to be able to search back an application in case you get booted out, or in case you need to retrieve it back. You know, you have a repeat customer and you want to know what you completed a year ago. And when you go on your Live App portal, in that portal alone, that tracking number will work for you.
Great. I have some people interested in the mobile app. One question is, how do I download the mobile app? Is it available for Android or just Apple?
Those are great questions, and that's actually my last technology piece. So after we finish up any questions on these two technology options, we can dive right along to the mobile version.
Okay, and then looks like a new one just popped up. Is there an option for the client to be sent a link to e-sign versus the voice signature?
No. So the voice signature is unique to telesales point of sales. So this will be done through telephone technology, voice technology. If your customer wants to be face to face with you, the e-application will instruct you to e-sign, and that is done through your mouse pad. So that's how that works.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much, Maria. I think that does it for
Oh,
these
my
questions.
pleasure. Okay, great. So let's move on to the next technology piece, and that is our mobile option. So this is our newest technology piece, and let me tell you, we've got great reviews thus far. It hasn't been around for that much, that long, but the users that have used it are very satisfied with it. It's very convenient. It definitely beats having to bring in a heavy laptop or have to, resort to going to your work office just so that way you can use your desktop. This mobile technology option is available for all cell phones, so Android users, Apple users can all install the software from their respective stores. So if you're an Apple user, you're going to go into your Apple store. If you're an Android user, you're going to go into your Play Store. And if you do have your cell phones right here with you, I can tell you what to do to install it, and we can get done with the most difficult part of the installation. So here's what you're going to do. So on your respective store, you're going to open it up and you're going to do a application search, and you're going to do the following, and it's going to be one word, no spaces. Aptical Mobile. Let me spell that out for you. It's APP as in Peter, T as in Tom, I as in Igloo, C as in Cat, A as in Apple, L as in Life, Mobile, MOBILE. All one word, all lowercase. So when you do that search, the first search result will be this software. So go ahead and install it and keep it in your phone for future use. Your login credentials that you get with your welcome email will work on this software. So it'll be the exact same credentials all across all three tech options. It's the same portal. It's just what differs is the hardware you use. So you won't necessarily be able to go on your cell phone and open up Google Chrome to access Aptical. That you cannot do, but that's why we have a special application for cell phones. So please make sure you take a note of that, because we've had some agents that didn't know that, and they were trying to access the application process through their cell phone by way of Google Chrome. That's just not going to allow you to do that very well, because cell phones are much more compact. They don't have the capabilities that a laptop or an iPad even have. So this is why there's a separate application uniquely tied into cell phones. And if there's anybody else that also wants to ask the question, no, you cannot install this application on your iPad. It's not going to work for you. It has to be a smartphone, an actual phone with a line, in order to be able to utilize this application. So just take a quick note of that, and then we'll be able to move right along. So once you download this application on your phone, you're going to be instructed to key in your client's demographics on a quoting tool. Once you key in that, Aptical Mobile will instruct you to take a picture of your client's ID. So rather than having to key in all the information like you do with a voice application or with an e-application, what's so convenient about this technology piece is that you're just simply taking pictures. And what it's doing, it's actually working as a scanner, and it's taking in that information from the client's ID and uploading it automatically for you with one press of a button. So it's going to pull that information, then it's going to ask you to take a picture of the client's payment information. So if they have a check, right at their disposition, it's going to do just the same thing. You're going to take a picture, it's going to work as a scanner, it's going to pull in information automatically for you. So it's definitely a time saver there. It definitely avoids any errors, omissions that sometimes, human fingering of that information will result in. So it's really nice, it's really neat. It's really a very popular option, especially if you're after hours at a bar or wherever it is that you are, and you don't necessarily want to bring in your laptop. You can just whip up your phone. Your client's right there sitting next to you. You want to give them a quote, you'll have that opportunity to do so. If they're ready to see if they qualify, 1, 2, 3, you got all that covered on your phone. So finally, once you key in all that information, you will wait for Aptical to contact you. And sometimes, depending on the volume, it'll be like a 1 to 2 minute wait. Usually it's done under 60 seconds, and you'll be able to complete a phone interview. So to answer the question that I was initially posed, with this technology, yes, you do need to have a telephone interview done, even if you're face to face with your client. This is the only technology option, because it's from a cell phone, that you'll need to have our third-party vendor, Aptical, be part of the interview. So make sure that your telephone ringer is turned on. Don't put it on silent, because then you'll miss the call. And pretty much from there, it's going to be self-explanatory. It's going to be just as identical as what we covered when we discussed the voice phone interview. Once the interview is complete, Aptical interviewer will render the decision, so your customer will know what they're eligible for, and you will wait for the electronic application to load on your phone. So this is another great feature, that all you'll need to do is just wait for those documents to upload automatically on your cell phone. You'll be able to see them. They'll come through in a, small visual there, but fully, resolution will be 100% there for you to be able to see and sign accordingly. There'll be red X's next to where your client needs to sign. Aptical will also guide you who needs to sign first, and then hand it over to your customer to sign as well. So you'll be signing that through DocuSign. So you'll review all the documents with your client, sign your name, follow the steps needed in order to complete the sale. It's really that simple. It's really a no-brainer, very much self-guided, very good visuals, and prompts for you to exercise and everything that we need in order to complete the sale. Now, for my agents that maybe need a little extra walkthrough and they want to see the visual of how that works, we do have a video on our Prosperity Agent Portal. That's the benchmark portal. You can go in there. The video can be found under General Information, Training, and then you're going to look at Live App Air Demo. So that's the video that we have. It showcases a different product. I believe it's the Prime Term product that the agent is showcasing, but the walkthrough is exactly the same. It's very much a great video, about 12 minutes long, so it will definitely help you get familiarized with this technology and see firsthand how a sample application can be taken on your phone. In case you need to know, voice applications are currently not offered in the state of Pennsylvania, New York, and Maine. We do not offer this product in its entirety in the following states: North Dakota, South Dakota, New Hampshire, Montana, Connecticut, DC, Delaware, Hawaii, Alaska, Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. Outside of those states, we do accept the voice, the e-app. Mobile technology is also available in most states. And of course, we do accept the hard copy paper applications with wet signatures sent to us by fax or email. So in the event that you may not necessarily have internet connection and you must submit a paper application, we do accept that. Copies of our application kits will be found on your benchmark portal, your Prosperity portal. So just make sure that you go into the Resources tab and you go under the state that your customer resides and you download that application. Printing it is very simple. It's a PDF link that we offer you, so when you click on it, it'll prop up on your computer or laptop. You'll save it and then print it out. It's about 9 to 10 pages long. What you're going to do is you're going to instruct the customer to sign your application, and then you will schedule an Aptical phone interview. So for that, you will need to know what the Aptical telephone number is, so that way you can schedule that, and then they'll give you a reference number. Just make sure that you let them know that this is a hard copy application, so that way they know to provide you the reference number, and you'll be set to go. You can email the completed application back to Prosperity. You can fax it to us. Just make sure that you do that in a 7-day time frame, so that way it's fresh. You do want to make sure that in the event that your customer, let's say, has a change of heart or ends up getting declined and no longer wishes to move forward with the application, we still need it for archiving purposes. So make sure you provide us the full application, the HIPAA authorization, and that you do this within 7 days. You can attach a cover letter, if you will, with the instructions, please withdraw, or customer was declined, for us to note the file accordingly. And that's basically pretty much it. Do you have any other questions?
The only one that popped up was, can you use the Live App Air for both the New Vantage and the Prime Term 100?
The New Vista, yes, you can use it for New Vista as well as Prime Term.
Perfect. Thank you. That's all the questions right now, Maria. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. Everything that you've come has even taught me some stuff. So thank you again.
Oh, my pleasure. Well, thank you so much. And hey, if everybody has any follow-up questions, we are available via email. Let me skip over to that slide. And if anybody needs our Aptical phone number, I can just go ahead and press hold on this slide too. It's 1-800-737-6972. And we're available via email at agentcare@prosperitylife.com.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, and thanks so much for having me.
Okay, thank you, Maria. So today we're going to talk a little bit about our lead programs. I am really excited to use Prosperity. They certainly do have a lot of great technology available, either on a face-to-face or over the phone basis. But what's most important that I've found is their pricing is competitive, especially on their guarantee issue product. I don't know if you've noticed, but AIG is experiencing a rate increase. AIG used to be the cheapest guarantee issue in town, and now it looks like we're back to Prosperity's Prime Term to 100 product. That's going to be a huge winner for us for those unhealthy clients. The other advantage I really like about Prosperity is on their New Vista product. It pays the same commission on level, graded, and modified business. So I think you'll find that Prosperity has two products that will fit perfectly in your briefcase. A little bit about our lead programs. We don't just sell leads here. We offer leads as well as the phone script, the sales script, and a bonus. So anytime one of your agents would like to purchase one of our leads, we will give them the track to be a successful agent. What's nice about Final Expense is it's fairly simple. If you receive 20, 25 leads, you should write between $2,000 to $5,000 of annual premium. So if you're looking at making $6,000, $8,000, $10,000 a month, it's just a matter of continually dropping leads if you're doing direct mail or ordering TV leads, because the more leads you have, the more opportunity you have to make sales. It's very scalable, and it's actually a really simple process. So I'm going to talk just briefly about our lead program, because I know we're already about 50 minutes into this presentation. We do have a real nice TV lead. TV leads, I believe, are some of the highest quality leads out there. The problem is TV leads usually are very expensive, costing between 50 to 75 bucks a piece. We found that using this prescription drug commercial, which then creates multiple leads, maybe a diabetic lead, a knee brace, final expense, we've been able to drive the cost down all the way down to 20 bucks for you all. So if you are interested in purchasing our TV leads in the state of California, we should have no problem getting you in. The minimum order is 25, so it's a $500 commitment. And I feel like after you've written or had a chance to work your 25 leads, you'll find that you'll be ready to make your next order and your next order. Where I think the majority of my agents that are making six figures in final expense are working between 60 to 80 leads a month. So if you want to start ramping up and you want to start going from a $30,000 income to a 50 to 70, I feel like the final expense lead program is a very easy lead program to get your numbers up. Now, if you are part of our lead program, not only are you going to get the sales track and the phone pitch, but you're going to get a little bit of help from us to help supplement your lead expenses. So what we do is we are looking at your annual premium numbers, and I've dropped it all the way to $1,500 of annual premium to qualify for the bonus. So if you were writing, let's say, 3 cases a month at 50 bucks a piece, 55 bucks a piece, you're going to qualify for a bonus from us, and it's going to be 5%. Now that 5% is not going to be taxable to you, so if you want to look at it as a taxable bonus, you could look at it as an extra 8 to 9% commission. But we are going to take our override and reinvest in your lead program. So if you write 3,000 with us, you're going to have a 5% lead credit. That lead credit is going to sit in an account over here at our office. And when you're ready to purchase your next set of leads, if your next set of leads costs 500 bucks and you have a $100 lead credit sitting over here, we're only going to charge you 400. What I'm hoping that we can do is actually get you more leads. So if you're looking at maybe putting $1,500 a month of lead orders out, I'm hoping that the money that you make and 5% lead credit, I can get you, instead of 60 leads a month, I can get you 80. So I want to get you more people to talk to, and I think the TV lead will be a really easy transition for generating some really nice sales. Now, briefly, we have a YouTube commercial that I can send you this link to everybody that's been on the call. This is the commercial that your clients are going to be hearing, and then they're going to be prompted to call in for their prescription drug card. During that call, our IVR system will ask them a series of questions. Some of those questions would be this final expense prompt. It's a final expense program. It's a life insurance policy designed for people either who can't qualify for traditional life insurance or on a limited income. Basically, when they hear this prompt, they have to answer yes after that prompt for a lead to be created. That lead is then emailed to you in real time. The most important thing in a TV lead program is to contact your client immediately, because that is when their need is at their highest. So we are going to go ahead and generate you a real-time final expense lead. We're going to shoot it over to you via email, and you're going to have a lot of information that the client's going to leave. You're going to have the client's phone number. We're going to capture their first and last name, their date of birth, their full street address, and their email. And when we do that, it's important that you do call that client back immediately within the next 2 minutes, because that's the easiest transition to start making a sale for you. So I think what distinguishes our method from all the others is our extraordinary high contact rate. So as soon as you get a lead, you got to jump on that lead, okay? The intro script, I just wrote a couple sentences here. As you can see, it's, hi, Mr. Smith, you recently requested your free prescription discount card from the United Health Benefits. During that call, you indicated you were interested in getting a free quote for final expense insurance coverage. My name is Ryan. I'm calling back to give you that quote. It's as simple as that. Now, from there, we're hoping that that you're able to transition to a more conversational approach. I feel in final expense, the most successful final expense agents are the ones that are asking questions, because agents tend to talk too much. What you're trying to do is ask questions so your client is the one doing the talking. All right, and in our presentation, you'll find that we have a series of questions we are asking our clients to communicate with us so we can help build the need, get them to realize the reason why they chose, hey, I'm looking for final expense coverage, was because at that moment, they had that feeling that they didn't want to burden their family with any final expenses. So some of our questions are like, hey, Mrs. Jones, if you're like most people, they know that death is a guarantee and they don't want to burden their family with any final expenses. Was that the main concern for you when you filled out that lead card or called us after looking at the commercial? Oh, okay, great. Have you planned for this? Who would be left with this burden? These are all questions that you're trying to drive home to your clients so you can get a commitment from them, and you're basically letting the client build the need for yourself. So I think you'll find that following our sales track and our final expense presentation, you'll have no problem making a sale over the phone or at the kitchen table if you decide. Within, I would say 30 minutes or less. Anybody have any questions on our final expense TV leads or our direct mail leads? Our final expense TV leads are $20 a piece, minimum order 25. It comes with a bonus, comes with the sales track, what to say either at the kitchen table or over the phone, and it comes with a bonus paid out on a monthly basis. The minimum bonus production numbers you need to do is $1,500 a month of AP. So that's about 3 sales at $50 a piece for you to qualify for a 5% lead credit. Does anybody have any questions in regards to our TV lead program or the final expense product that we're selling today?
And it looks like you did a great job. Nobody's popping up, but we'll give them a minute. Ryan, as you talk about it, even I get excited, listening about how instant the sales are coming in, the great script that has been provided, as well as just the low cost and the accessibility of the Prosperity, where they don't even need to sign anything. It looks like I do have one question that popped up, which is, how do we pay for the lead?
Okay, so what you want to do is get in contact. If you're a Pegasus agent, you want to contact Justin. We have a simple order form that we need you to fill out and send back to Justin so we can start ordering your leads. If you're an agent's insurance agent, you just give us a call. So everybody should have their MGA's phone number to get in touch with us, order our leads. TV leads can be turned over, I would say within 48 hours. So if you ordered leads today, I can get some leads in your hand really quickly. Direct mail is a little bit longer, okay? So direct mail, we got to mail out a card, we got to turn it around, mail it back. You're looking at 3 weeks to get into production. And you're also looking at a more expensive lead. A direct mail lead, you're looking at about $30, where we're here coming in at 20, and we can get a lead in front of you today. So if you are interested in getting involved in our TV lead program or our direct mail lead program, contact either your MGA or Justin at Pegasus or Ryan at Agents Insurance. Everybody should have each other's contact information. So if you want to give your contact information, Justin, you can. My phone number is 858-675-0100, extension 19. Justin, if you want to give your phone number.
Yes, our phone number here direct is 505-298-2111.
Now, our sales presentation training could take about an hour, which we're already past the hour now. So if you are brand new to the final expense industry and you would like some more personal one-on-one training, we could really dive into our 44-page final expense presentation, rip it apart and figure out what you want to hit when you're in front of your clients or over the phone with your clients. But if you are interested in jumping in the final expense arena and you've never sold it, it would probably be best to get into our final expense university training, which is our 101 final expense training, and it will take about an hour. If you are familiar with final expense, or you're just familiar with how to sell over the phone, by all means, let's jump on these leads so you can go ahead and start earning some lead credits.
Wow, thanks. And Ryan, also in that 44-page sales, it talks about overcoming objections. It talks about a number of different things, correct?
Yeah, you're going to have the scripts. You're going to have the objections, the rebuttals, pre-sale, post-sale. You're going to have everything. The most important thing you need to do is memorize your objections, but always be asking questions. So in your presentation, we're going to have several questions you're going to want to be getting across to your client, so you can go ahead, get that client back to that emotional state when they first filled out that lead card or when they first called in and requested life insurance coverage. I like to say, after I've, asked my series of questions and, who would be left with this burden, how would you pay for it? Would you prefer that that you pay for your family's funeral with somebody else's money? I mean, there's just really simple questions. We're not trying to do a logical sale here. We're just trying to do an emotional sale. We're trying to communicate. And I'll tell you, every time I talk to my clients who have not prepared for a funeral, they know that they have to put something together. I'll tell you, every time I say, would you prefer to use somebody else's money to bury your loved ones? They all say yes. And at that point, it's like, okay, we got plans that are as low as $1 a day, cheaper than a cup of Starbucks a day. If you happen to pass away tomorrow, hey, you've paid $50 into a plan, and I'm going to write your family a $10,000 check. So it's real simple. It's not a difficult sales presentation, but most importantly, you got to memorize your objections. You got to memorize your rebuttals, and we have about 30 of them in our presentation. We will give everybody the presentation that takes part in our lead program.
Okay, great. Looks like we got a couple more questions coming in. They're asking, how do we sign up for the FE school? And that one is just simple. Give us a phone call and let's start the lead order, and we'll jump right into the one-on-one with you and go over the 44-page document, the sales script.
That's right. Today, if we would have done it today, I'd have you guys all on the phone another hour. So today, just know that you have an inexpensive lead with a bonus and a sales track. Give us a call and we'll go ahead and get you into production.
Excellent. Well, I think that does it for the end of the training today. So if you guys have any questions or you guys want to go ahead and start this process going, give us a phone call. Ryan, your number again?
858-675-0100, extension 19.
So if you are working with agent sales and insurance, be sure to give Ryan a phone call. I think this is an excellent opportunity and program. Again, Pegasus agents, go ahead and reach out to me, 505-298-2111, and we can get you guys started and having leads in your hands very, very quickly. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
I think we are good on questions right now.
All right, great. Anybody want to give us a call? We'll go ahead and give you all this information over the phone, and we'll go ahead and email all of our presentations to you.
Perfect. Thank you guys for your time, and you have a wonderful day.